So yeah, hi guys. I'm starting a series in Linux. So I'm going to explain you Linux from scratch. So this is the first class. So I cannot say like in how many sessions it might complete. Yeah, it will take nearly 40 plus sessions. So without wasting our time, let us start today's session. So today I will just discuss the basic things in Linux. Okay, if you see, the Linux is an operating system. So like Windows, Linux is also an operating system. So whatever you are listening, right, Linux, Red Hat Linux, Ubuntu, CentOS, these are not Linux. These are a called as distribution, nothing but a flavor. So then what is Linux? Distribution is Linux plus software of applications. Okay, distribution is nothing but including Linux, there will be some softwares will be added, then it's call it as a Ubuntu CentOS. So in this essence, Linux is a core of operating system, nothing but Linux is nothing but a kernel. So people will just use that kernel. So kernel is an open source code. So people you will take that kernel and they will add some changes and they will add some softwares and they will edit the code in such a way according to their need. Then they will create some operating system. In the same way, Ubuntu, CentOS, everything was created. So like for suppose if I want to communicate with the hardware, it is not possible. So if I want to talk with CPU, if I want to talk with RAM, if I want to talk with like hardware components, I am not able to talk directly. That's the reason we get an operating system. That's the reason we have like Windows operating system. In the same way, we Linux is also plays as a communicator between hardware. So Linux will communicate. For suppose if I want to execute anything, it will go, the request will goes to Linux kernel, then after it will go to hardware. So where we will execute everything in a shell terminal. Just a moment guys, there is some background disturbances, just a moment. So yeah, I am back. So whenever if you want to communicate with the hardware, it is not possible. So hardware cannot able to understand the human language, right? In the same way, if I want to communicate with hardware, I am Linux kernel will help us. So how we will communicate with two Linux kernel? We will communicate to Linux kernel using user process, nothing but shell. So we will execute the command. This command request will go to Linux kernel. Linux kernel will go request to hardware. So like this, the communication will happen in every operating system, not only Linux. Coming to Windows also, whenever you execute anything in Windows, then it will, the request will goes to the Windows operating system. Here we have Linux kernel, so there we will be having Windows, then after it will go to hardware. So these are the basic communication which happened in the backend. So we are directly executing commands in terminal, but it is giving the output, right? That output will happen through Linux kernel and Linux kernel will go and ask to hardware. So these things will happen in the background. So let us go to other slide. So as I said, right, shell and terminal. So when we speak of the command line, we are referring to shell. So what are the command line you are using, right? That command line will call it as a shell. So to interact with shell, we need a terminal. Okay, let's create a Linux instance and log in into that. So I will create one server in AWS cloud. Okay, and we can log in into that server. So if you see, shell is nothing but a program that takes commands and passes them to OS to carry out. So shell is a terminal. So as I said, it will go and communicate with your operating system. Here the operating system where Linux. So if you see, almost all the distribution, a shell program called as bash is supplied. So major operating system, whether it may be Ubuntu, CentOS, everything, majority of the operating system will have a terminal called as bash. So if you see here, if you see the dollar, it's a normal user. If it is hash, it's a admin. That means root user. For this root user, you will have every permissions. In the Windows also, you can able to create a guest user, right? Your user differently. In the same way, Linux also you can able to create a different users. So if you see this dollar symbol, then it's called it as a normal user. If it is hash, then it is a user with administrative privileges. So now let us discuss about the Linux basic commands. Okay, I will create one server in AWS cloud. I will execute some commands and I will explain about these commands. Okay, then after we will go further. So before that, let me open my AWS. So I already logged into my AWS account. Okay, let me reload this page. Then just search EC2. Okay, after searching EC2, you will get into this page, the same page which I have shown before. Just click on instances, launch instance, choose any operating system of your choice. For this demo purpose, I am choosing Ubuntu. Ubuntu is, everyone will use Ubuntu for the practice. So let's use Ubuntu itself. It's easy to use, nothing but it's very easy while using. Okay, and in AWS we have different regions as well. So at present I am located in India, so Mumbai will be very near to me. So that's the reason. Let me go to Mumbai region. So in the Mumbai region, I will create a server. So if you create in another region, that servers will not be visible here. Okay. The reason is nothing but a location, where in which location you want to create a server. That's it. There is no any rocket science in this. So let me select Ubuntu 20. T2 micro is nothing but free. So very small machine. Let me choose a key pair of my choice. I already created a key pair. If you want, you can able to create. And security group also you can able to create. I already created it. So let me choose the security group which I have created. I just given the name as all traffic. You can give any name. So it is loading. Yeah, it has already created. Now let me go to instances. Now just reload this. Sorry if you are getting any background noise and all. I don't know. I just started the recording. Then only it started. Yeah, people will distract whenever we want to focus on anything. People will just distract us. So we should not disturb with that. Anyway, yeah. Okay. After go to SSH client, copy this. Go to the folder where your PEM file is located. Okay. My PEM file is located here. If you see eks.pem, I will just right click here. If you see git bash, so if you don't have this git bash after, you will not get an option. Try to download git download, search Google git download, you can able to do it. If not, in my channel itself I have created a how to create an EC2 instance. Just check that video, you will get everything. So I am inside the operating system. Okay, I just copy pasted that command. I will show it back again. If you want to come out, command is exit. Okay, just copy paste here, shift insert. Okay, then just enter. So I am inside this server. So if you want to see the list of files, the command will be ls. There is nothing. If you want to see the hidden folders, then you can enter ls-a. Then if you see in Linux, hidden folders will be dot. If you see dot, it's nothing but a hidden folder. Whenever you execute ls, you will not see anything. If you want to see the hidden file as well, then command will be ls-a. Okay, if you want to create any folder in Linux, it is called it as a directory, mkdir. Let me give demo. So let me enter ls. So you can see demo folder was created. If you want to go inside this folder, then change directory, cd to cd, name of the directory demo. I am inside this demo. If you see ls, so if you see pwd, present working directory. So at present I am in home ubuntu demo folder. Now let me, if you want to go back, cd dot nothing but change directory, go to my previous folder. So if you see at present pwd present working directory, I am in home/ubuntu folder. So if you want to remove directory, rmdir demo. So these are the basic commands. If you want to see the list, mkdir rmdir. If you want to create text files, I shown you the folder, right? In the same way, if you want to create a text files, the command will be touch 1.txt. So if you want to copy 1.txt into another file, 1.txt 2.txt. So if I enter ls, so you can see I am copying 1.txt. That means I am creating a new file of same file, same content with different name. In the Windows also you can able to do a write copy of a files. In the Linux also you can do it, but here in Linux we will play with terminal. In Windows we are just you play with UI. UI is nothing but whatever you are doing, right? Like for suppose if I want to create a folder, I will just click new folder, but in Linux it is not possible. If you want to do anything, you need to use a terminal. So yeah, first it's a first class. Yeah, you will be have some confusion. Nothing will happen. You just need to practice. First time it will be very hard to you. If you do it practice regularly, then it will be added into your memory permanently. Okay, and we will be having like whatever you are executing, right? Touch is a command. Okay, after touch whatever you are giving 1.txt, that will in Linux language it's called as argument. So touch is nothing but a command. After touch if you give anything, it's called as argument. We will be having named argument. Name is argument is nothing but ping. If I enter google.com, okay, here ping is a command, google.com is an argument. Let me enter. So it will go on continue. If you want to come out, if you want to stop, control C. Now if I enter named argument is nothing but if I see -c 4, that means I am giving some name. Count C is nothing but count 4, then it's called it as a named. Enter. So if you just give this, then it's called it as a, let me show you in the presentation, you will get. So if you see named argument ping -c for google.com. Positional argument is nothing but if you are copying anything cp1.txt or 2.txt. And yeah, there will be many commands will be there. cp move, both are same. If you want to move the file, if you want to remove the file, the command will be rm. So like this we will be having. If you want to see the date, you can able to see date. If you want to see calendar, the command will be cal. And if you want to print anything, echo hello. Yeah, these are the many things will be there. Just try to see some basic commands. So let us go further. So now I will just explain this Linux directory structure. So in Linux directory structure is nothing but you will be having a tree like structure like bin, etc, home, opt, temp, user, var. In Windows how we will be having local disk C, D, E, right? In the same way in Linux we will start with /, that is root directory. Like this we will be having bin folder, etc. Here we will call it as a directories: home, opt, temp, user, var. So for every folder there will be a separate responsibility of that folder. For every requirement we will use separate folders. Like for suppose root directory. For root directory we will use root directory is nothing but a admin user. Slash bin is nothing but if you want to install any softwares, that executable will be located in bin location. So etc, like whatever the configuration files related to softwares, it will be stored in etc folder. So home directory is nothing but whenever you create any new user, that user will create one home directory, then it will be call it as slash home directory. Opt is nothing but a third party softwares. If you want to install any third party softwares, then you can keep that third party softwares in opt directory. So temp is nothing but a temporary files. So after restart, the temporary file will be deleted. In the Linux also we will be having temporary files. Whenever our system stops working, we use it to delete the files, right, in the temporary. So slash user, nothing but whatever you have created the user, right, user related information will be stored in that folder. Var, nothing but variable, var is nothing but a variables. So like this we have Linux directory structure. So in what's next, in next session we will discuss about environmental variable and shell variable. So what is this environmental variable and shell variable? So that's it for today's class. So let's meet again in next video. Thank you guys.